what Battlefield 5 could have been. Now first, let's talk a little bit about who's behind it, known as EA and DICE. And when we're talking about these companies and developer teams, whatever you want to call them, we're talking about complete randomness. It can be good and it can be bad. An example of a good thing, the Pacific update. Everybody was expecting EA and DICE to fail, but they actually succeed on that. But a month later, they did something that nobody was expecting, which was the update that killed Battlefield 5. I think it was the 4.2 update or 5.2 update. It was the TDK change update, the first one after the Pacific update, which was the update that killed Battlefield 5. I think we all can agree on that. Nobody wanted any of what they gave us, but again, we're talking EA and DICE, so they can do whatever they want, and they just do it. Now let's talk about 2042 and then we'll go right back to Battlefield 5. You know, EA just decided to cancel Battlefield 5 and avoid making a campaign to focus more on the multiplayer side of things and to make the worst Battlefield ever and the worst first-person shooter, AAA first-person shooter, in gaming history. Now with that out of the way, let's focus a little bit more on what Battlefield 5 could have been. Now the first thing I want to ask you, and I want to ask myself, is would you or I prefer to have more content and live service in general on 2042 or Battlefield 5? Now I have to be truthful here, and I'm not a big fan of Battlefield 5, at least the current state of the game. But I'm also not happy on how 2042 got to be and is. You know, just to name a few, I don't like the universe that they created, I don't like specialists, I don't like the maps, and I don't like the fact that a AAA gaming company hasn't fixed the goddamn mouse input on PC, and not only on PC, also on consoles, controller input. 6 months in, it's probably more, I don't know, I don't care, but let's say 6 months in, a AAA gaming company hasn't even released content and hasn't even fixed the main issue of the game, which is the input on a first-person shooter. Okay, let's go back to the question that I just asked myself and I asked it here. Would you prefer a live service on Battlefield 5 or on 2042? I'd say Battlefield 5. Now keep in mind that I don't want DICE to go back to BF5 and work on it. I mean, I think that's a bad decision. I think they should stay on 2042 and really try to make the world's most impossible comeback ever, which it's most likely not gonna happen. I mean, I don't believe they'll do it. I have lost all my hope on DICE and EA. But let's talk a little bit about Battlefield 5. Now, again, I have said that Battlefield 5 is in a really bad state. And it is, and it will always be on that state. But the truth is, as much as I don't like that game, and I have done pretty much everything on that game, I've played it since day one, I got quite a few hours on it, 2.5k hours on it. And even though I don't like the game, right? I have to admit that it's the Battlefield game with the most potential. And it still has the possibility of being the best Battlefield game, if you know what I mean. It's not gonna happen, but it still has that possibility. Now, when I talk about live service, the majority of the people will focus more and talk more about the new content, right? I am more interested on the balance and fixes side of things. Just imagine Battlefield 5 without random recoil. You know, imagine Battlefield 5 with a good weapon balance, with a good class balance, with good vehicles, good vehicle balance. I mean, they had to redesign the entire vehicle system on that game, but just imagine that. And imagine it with more good maps, right? I mean, it would be really good, in my opinion. If they managed to fix all the issues and bugs, and especially the balance issues, the game would have been incredible. I think anyone can agree on that. So yeah, I would basically just choose Battlefield 5. I would also be looking forward to the new content, Soviet Union, Eastern France. Just imagine the amazing maps and weapons we would get, and vehicles. The things I would look most forward would be the urban maps. As you know, I'm a big fan of urban maps, especially the World War II setting urban maps. So, you know, it would be a blast, in my opinion. If, of course, they manage to fix the game in overall, especially the balance issues. And if you really think about it, it's actually easier to fix Battlefield 5 than to fix 2042. But again, I don't want DICE to go back to BF5. That would be a horrible decision. They need to stay on 2042 and just do the best they can do. So yeah, long story short, I would prefer to see more content and a live service on Battlefield 5 than on 2042. But I want DICE to keep working on 2042. That's the best decision. Really the only decision. I know we're gonna get a new Battlefield game, and working on 2042 and making a new Battlefield game, it's gonna be I'm not gonna say an impossible task, but I will say a very difficult one. I also want to mention the thumbnail, specifically the map of the thumbnail. We actually have this map on the campaign of the game. I think it's the last mission, the last Tiger mission. And I would love to see that map on the multiplayer, a good urban map. I know the visibility on it would be, you know, not the best, but it would definitely be a really cool looking map and possibly a really good map in general. Kind of like Devastation 2.0. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that, and let me know in the comments below what you would look forward the most if Battlefield 5 had a live service, or continue with the live service in a different timeline. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, I appreciate it. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, a dislike if you didn't. I love you all, and I'll see you all on the next one. Have a good day, or a good night. Bye bye.